Cheers.
Welcome. Cheers, Hilary. Everybody, I want you to meet Hilary. And she's one of our dear friends in the rum group and our Tiki group and Tales of the Cocktail group. So first, Hilary, tell us where we are.
We are at International House Hotel, home of Aloha Bar, amongst other things, on the corner of Camp and Gravier in the CBD. This is one property, in addition to Law 523, which is right across the way. International House is incredibly historic, was the original, the world's first World Trade Center, located here in New Orleans. Seated in front of some beautiful works of art, amongst them probably our most famous and notable are two original Banksys that were painted here, obviously by Banksy, shortly after Hurricane Katrina. So lots of cultural interest and lots of cocktail interest as well.
Very cool. So we're also here for Tales of the Cocktail. This is not your first rodeo with Tales, and first thing we've been talking about, we've had Terry on, and we've been talking about all of the events we've been going on and doing recap. Rather than recap, I just want you to tell me any memorable moments so far in Tales of the Cocktail 2026.
Some of the best moments of Tales are not memorable,
right?
And that's probably for the better. But I will say we had a ton of fun at the Mi Campo event. They did a really cool pop-up over at Jack Rose, pardon me. Very excited for all of today's fun as well. We have Teddy's at Tell Me Bar, which we had the pleasure of attending last year as well. They always put on a great show. We're going to pop into a Suntory event over at Common House, which we're really excited about, and then the return of the Hendrix Party, which was away for about 2 years. My best friend and I have been doing Tales. I forget the exact number, and perhaps that's on to the part where, some parts are memorable and some parts aren't. But as I said, the return of the Hendrix Party, which is always just such a wonderful time. They do incredible marketing. We had the pleasure of attending the William Grant event at the Orpheum, which is the parent company of Hendrix. So I got a little taste of what they were cooking up last night, and excited for a little bit more today.
That is good. Okay, now, the people watching might have seen us toast and it wasn't a cocktail. Can you tell them what rum you poured there? We have a couple of Sugarfield rums here.
I am very fond of this rum, if I do say so myself.
Kind of a setup there.
Kind of a setup. Thomas is a dear friend, the master distiller of Sugarfield. We actually, Terry, Jeff, and I had the pleasure, in addition to our friend Thomas Van Geffen, he also helped, who we all blended this rum together. And this is on one of the sides,
this is Tiki 1.
Tiki 1. So this is a batch that we blended as a team and competed against other teams and somehow convinced Thomas that our rum was the best.
And it is, and it was. Hilary, in addition to this rum talent she has in blending perfect rum, is also a sommelier. So that might have had a little something to do with being able to nail those perfect flavors. Okay, I want to ask you about Tiki.
Okay.
Before you knew me and Terry, what was your thoughts about Tiki? What did you know about it?
I'm from Southern California, so I will say that the Tiki movement, shall we call it, was a concept that had kind of come to prominence a few years before I sort of saw it rise up in New Orleans or in other parts of the country. Always been a fan of Tiki, grew up in going to Hawaii a lot as a kid, so that sort of tropical cocktail influence was always near and dear to my heart, always reminded me of home, and it was very nostalgic. I will say that the most interesting thing about seeing Tiki resurgence / prominence is that people are starting to, or once again revisiting, having fun with cocktails and having fun with spirits. And I mean, even in the sommelier world, I always say, I like to democratize wine. I don't like it to have this air of better than anybody or anything of that nature. So to see people actually have fun with their cocktails, their wine, their spirits is really fun and refreshing. And I think that's what Tiki is all about and what makes it really special.
So your history in Tiki goes so far back beyond meeting us. So after you met us, you kind of got a different viewpoint of Tiki. The way we do Tiki festivals, Tiki Tuesday, Tiki road trips. Tell me what you thought about Tiki after you met Crazy Us.
Crazy Us. I think that the thing that's most compelling to me about Tiki Society, Tiki Tuesday, all the things that you just mentioned, what's in common is this great sense of community that sort of, yes, we do have a fun, cool cocktail with a cute little umbrella in it, but it really is a community of all people who want to kick back and enjoy a day, enjoy a cocktail, and just really have fun with it. even though I get nitpicked about improper or proper Mai Tais constantly, I still do enjoy it. And it is really just, as I keep saying, the sort of underlying theme is fun and community. And I think that's what the coolest part about Tiki is.
Rum and community and meeting new people, and people have the similar interest. Instead of Tiki cocktail classes, you might have noticed on Tiki Tuesdays, if you're first one there, we make your drink. But after that, you're on your own. So there's a recipe and the ingredients, and it forces people into learning how to make cocktails for the first time. Knowing what the difference between 0.5 and 5 ounces of something is in a cocktail. And
sometimes I prefer 5 to 0.5, and that's
depends
okay.
on what it is. So that kind of change, see more community and togetherness, as opposed to the California. I am sure they have it now, but you were just attending tiki bars and seeing the culture, but I don't know if you got plugged in any community.
Not really. And you know, I think that's once again what's very special about what y'all have put together is how immersive it is. And I think that really does strengthen that sense of community and once again of fun and just something different that, like you said, forces people out of what typically might be their comfort zone. Not everybody is super comfortable with a shaker and a jigger, and if you haven't worked in the service industry, I don't really know why you would be. So it is cool to give people that perspective, and I feel as if just coming from this side, as I said, in the industry, I feel as if it gives people who perhaps, even though they had an appreciation, a sort of different point of view, right? And truly what is going into all these cocktails that maybe have 7 touch points, and maybe why is my drink not coming up in 1 minute as opposed to 20? I think that that not even respect, but that the appreciation is definitely deepened by experiences like the ones that y'all are doing. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Let's see. I was going to ask you about what events stick out in your mind. There's probably one special event that we did. Anyone in particular? Maybe a Mai Tai contest or Tiki road trip?
I feel as if I'm being baited into discussing my humiliation at the last Mai Tai contest. But
pick any one of the events, because you've mostly done those more than Tiki Tuesdays, or you've done a lot of Tiki Tuesdays too?
Whenever I lived in Baton Rouge, now I'm based in New Orleans, I don't think I really missed a Tiki Tuesday too often. But I mean, it is a bit of a generic answer. However, I always, as your friend, just get so much of a kick of, yes, being at your tiki bar, but other people experiencing your tiki bar for the first time in your yard. It's just so special to see people's eyes literally light up whenever they see all the time and effort and care that you've put into it. And
thank you.
You always, of course, thank you for always putting on a good show, but thank you for, like I said, appreciating it, right? And appreciating what goes into service, because that does take a special kind of person to really love it.
Have you noticed we've gone kind of out of our way to involve more younger people and women and stuff in the Tiki group? Because a lot of times we see it's just a strictly older male-oriented group. Have you noticed that?
Of course I have. As a young person, it is nice. It is interesting to see people who are, once again, not necessarily in the industry, who are seeing it from the first time. I think that we have a lot of people in our group who perhaps didn't grow up with a lot of the cocktail scene or a lot of the wine scene, even just in, dining out with parents or dining out with friends. So it is nice to see younger people becoming engaged in a way, especially in a time when a lot of younger people are straying away from alcohol. It's very nice to show young people that it is possible to be around it in a fun, safe, non-overdoing it kind of way.
And that is out of the ordinary for most of the young people. Now, although that wave is changing to the more non-alcoholic beverages, I'm seeing that, but that if you have to go that much effort and grind your own ice and do all the prep and all that, you kind of see, and then when you start hosting your own events, you realize there's a lot of prep that goes into this stuff. It might throttle you back.
My wine almost took me out.
I know, and we appreciate you hosting too. That's another thing, is teaching people how to host.
Right.
And we love it because we get to go to new places and things. So all good. You haven't seen the Shasta Lounge yet, so I can't wait for you to get in.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing it for the first time. This is going to be so exciting. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Hilary, for joining me, and I'll cheers you on out of here. Cheers, my dear. Love you.
Love you.